I was a young woman with a passion for motorcycles and a life filled with the rhythm of the sea. I lived in a coastal town in southern Italy, where the sun was warm and the waves crashed against the rocks with a steady, familiar sound. I had always been drawn to the freedom that came with riding a motorcycle, and I spent most of my days working at a small cafe on the edge of town. The cafe was a quiet place, filled with the scent of freshly brewed coffee and the chatter of locals who knew each other by name. I was known for my calm demeanor and my ability to make even the most difficult customers feel welcome. I loved the way the wind felt against my skin as I rode my bike through the narrow, winding streets, the sound of the engine a constant companion. Life was simple, but I had a dream of one day owning my own cafe, a place where people could come together, share stories, and feel a sense of belonging. One day, as I finished my shift and walked back to the pier, I noticed something unusual. A man was trying to move my bike, which had been left there the previous day. I had always taken great care to secure it, knowing how important it was to me. As I approached, I could see him struggling to move the bike, and my heart sank. I had a feeling that this was not just an ordinary situation. I stepped forward and confronted him, asking, "What the heck do you think you're doing? That's my bike." His response was met with a blank look, as if he had no idea what he was doing. He simply said, "We need to park and the car park is full. You can leave your bike anywhere." His tone was dismissive, and I felt a wave of frustration wash over me. I had always believed that respect was a two-way street, and this moment felt like a betrayal of that belief. Determined to take matters into my own hands, I decided to confront the situation head-on. I unlocked the disc lock, got on the bike, and felt a surge of anger and determination. As I looked around, I noticed the driver's door of the offending car was open, and I knew I had an opportunity. I had always been a bit of a prankster, and this seemed like the perfect moment to play a little game. I backed up the bike so that the exhausts were pointing straight into the passenger cabin, folded out the kickstarter, and kicked the bike over while holding the throttle open fully. The bike fired up, and a huge cloud of thick two-stroke-old smoke poured out of the exhaust, filling the car with a cloud of fuel and oil. The driver was taken aback, and I could see the look of shock on their face as they tried to comprehend what had just happened. I had made a decision to stand up for myself, and in that moment, I felt a sense of power and control over my life. As the smoke filled the car, I felt a mix of emotions. There was a sense of satisfaction, but also a hint of guilt. I had always known that my actions could have consequences, and I was aware that I had crossed a line. I had taken a risk, and I was not sure if it would pay off. The man was now in a situation that he had not anticipated, and I could see the frustration in his eyes. He was not just angry, he was confused and perhaps even a little scared. I had used my knowledge of the bike to create a situation that would not only embarrass him, but also make him rethink his actions. I had made a choice to take control of my life, and I was willing to face the consequences of that choice. In the days that followed, I found myself reflecting on the incident. I had always believed that the best way to handle a situation was to confront it directly, and I had done just that. However, I also knew that my actions could have repercussions. I had taken a risk, and I was not sure if it would pay off. The man who had tried to move my bike had not responded in the way I had hoped. Instead, he had reacted with anger and frustration, and I could see that I had made him feel threatened. I was aware that my actions had not only affected him, but also had a ripple effect on the community. The incident had sparked a conversation about respect and the importance of treating others with kindness, and I had played a role in that. As I continued to work at the cafe, I found myself thinking about the incident more and more. I had always believed that life was about making choices, and I had made a choice that had changed the course of my life. I was no longer just a cafe worker. I was a woman who had taken a stand for herself. I had faced a situation that had made me feel powerless, and I had chosen to act. I had made a decision that had not only affected me, but also had a lasting impact on those around me. I had learned that sometimes, the best way to deal with a problem is to confront it directly, even if it means taking a risk. I had made a choice, and I was ready to face whatever consequences came with it.